start by saying thank you, God. I know my videos are getting repetitive, it's the same things, but the reason why I do that is just to make sure I reinforce reality. And it's happening, like there's a bunch of like mental dialogues that are happening to try to negate this. But I need to make these videos. No, I don't need to, but it helps, let's just say, to put things back in perspective. I just don't want to get lost into the reality that they put together. First of all, they do things that are so extreme that kind of like just tells the story of what's really happening here. And I hear these preps like, yeah, no, that's pedo, that this and that, and the things that these people try to utilize when it's clear that there's just a level of just manipulation that's so extreme, it goes that far. You see 3 pictures there. Each picture, from the little baby, the kid who's like 7 years old, to this girl who's like a young adult. Something happened. All of them. Now, some are more extreme than others. The young adults, I've looked at young adults before in a sexual way, of course. This is something I can do. This baby, extreme manipulation. I'm talking about, the 7-year-old, extreme manipulation. Try to make me look at this kid like an adult. By the way, you see this noise campaign? It's part of this whole ecosystem. And then there's like literally a baby, like an infant. This perhaps wants me to think that I'm not being manipulated. It's amazing. And then you hear this perp say, yeah, no, that's better. And they try to put the pressure. It's like, you literally did that toward the baby. Now, let me just go by one. Let's start off with the baby. This is a movie. And this baby comes up. Immediately, I get sexual arousal. Boom. Intense. Boom. And it was just disgusting. And then they try to create a dialogue. Say, is that a boy or girl? I was like, whatever it is, you're manipulating my brain in this way. I don't care. Then I'm watching something about watches. Listen, I like to see people accessories and watch. I'm not a watch person per se. I don't like those fancy watches, but I do like certain watches and how they look on certain people and how it looks. I do like to see people's watch or how they look on them. It's part of like the fashion things I do like to watch. Now, I'm not a watch person per se. I don't like the expensive watches. I don't, even if I have money, I don't think I would buy like those expensive watches. But I do like to see what people like to wear, especially people who have some kind of sense of style. And so I'm watching this, and first of all, this guy's talking, and in the background you see this kid over there. And they try to make me look at this kid in a sexual way. She's wearing like a crop t-shirt, like it's a kid, a baby, like 6-7 years old. They give me like a perception that's like kind of wanting me to look at her. It's like so disgusting. And then this here. Now, the reason why I watch this video is because of her, because she looked like she's stylish and whatnot, and I do like to see what stylish people wear. And I'm looking at her, I'm thinking she's like in the 20s. I do feel a weird thing in my brain, but it's okay. I'm assuming she's like in her 20, 23, 24, in the mid-20s or something like that. In the 20s at least, like a young adult. I don't care the little extra thing I feel, but I do see her as a fashionable person. She looked like she got style. I do want to see what she's wearing. I forgot the watch. As a matter of fact, that's the reason why I'm watching this. And I watched that she's a young adult, but she's still a college student, and she owns like an ice cream shop, something like that. And they were trying to make me imagine, nah, she doesn't. She's a college student that owns an ice cream shop, right? And so I'm giving her like early 20s, maybe she's like a 22, 21, something like that. And they're just trying to mess with me. Now, have I looked at a 21, 22-year-old? Yes, in the sexual, of course I have, like every other man. Now, I know I can feel a little extra, but it's okay. I don't care too much. And I do like the style that she has. She has like kind of like this style that I can that I'll be interested to see what she's wearing. The more I look at her, the more she looks like a kid to me. It's like, okay, I guess they were playing with my brain a little bit, because she didn't look that childish initially, but slowly I can see her more like a child. So So they can play with my brain in that fashion. But I don't care. When they do that to the young adults, I'm like, naturally, I could see somebody 20-some-year-old in a sexual way, but it's not majority of time. In some cases, but if you see how manipulative they can be to babies, now a 20-some-year-old is not going to mess with me. This is what this trash want me to be acceptive of. The same people who force me to have sexual stimulation toward these babies, then try to vilify me toward like this young adult. Like, you just stimulate me literally toward an infant, and then the little 7-year-old over there. These perps have no shame. This young adult is a young woman that, I could see her. And the more I look at her, I realize, you know what? What did I look at her? What did I feel like that? Now I'm not seeing it like that. So they were playing with my perception just a little bit. But because she's just a young adult, and it's not, and I've seen young adults in sexual ways before, I didn't care. I didn't care too much about it. Now I'm hearing these perps who tell me they're gonna frame me with children, tell me what's real or not real, to try to negate the fact they just forced me to have this sexual stimulation toward a baby. These perps really want you to let them go into this fantasy. Like, they really think in their mind that they've gaslighted me into accepting the persona that they wish they... It's like, yes, you're mean, you're pedophiles. It's very mean what you do. The reason why I say mean is because they, to be condescending to me, these perps troll you like they're children. A lot of these perps participating in this are very childlike people. And so, when a kid tried to troll you, it's like, yeah, we're mean. And the thing is, I make the same video, so I say the same thing over and over and over. So they just get like, yeah, we're just mean. Yeah, we're over you. It's over. I was like, yeah, okay, you won. Within an hour, you stimulate me toward a baby, a 7-year-old, then some college student who owns some ice cream shop. That you're just trying to now make me imagine something else. Now, 2 of those are extreme. The other one is just a little bit of manipulation. It's nothing too intense. No, nothing too crazy. But the extreme gives you an idea of what they do. They force you to have sexual stimulation. Oh, sorry, they're mean. Those are the people who are supposed to make me think that they're not manipulating me, that I should be identifying with this persona. Oh, sorry, they're not fair. You see why I shouldn't think I'm being manipulated? Talking about you, stay strong. I really appreciate them when they do all these things at once. They're supposed to really make you accepting of this. This gaslighting is supposed to make you believe. It's like, you don't do this thing and then make you have somebody make you have, for this purpose, to think that I would be identifying to even these young adults when not too long ago you did that to a baby. The young adult part, at least play it off like, okay, let's not stimulate him toward the infant there. It's going to make it too obvious. Let's not stimulate him toward this 6-7-year-old. It's going to be too obvious. Then we can be like, oh yeah, he likes them young. Look, this 20. I was like, you just did that to a baby, an infant. These perps are retards. For me, I put all of that at the same time. It's like exactly what I'm saying. These people are forcing me to have sexual stimulation toward these babies, and so the young adults, of course. And let me just be honest. Have I seen a young adult in a sexual way? Of course. Duh. Now, I'm realizing, oh, they play my brain. Now, the young adults, sometimes I don't even realize it, that they're manipulating me because they're just young adults, and I've had perception of a sexual nature toward young adults before. So sometimes when they do it, I'm just like, I don't really just pay attention to it. Then now I'm realizing, I'm looking at her, it's like, actually I'm looking at her, the more I look at her, she looks really young to me, like not even real, but not even like appealing. It's like the way I was perceiving her just phased away. I was like, oh, so they were doing something to me, and I didn't even realize it because I wasn't concerned. Because as long as she's an adult, I don't care. Then I look closer, and I'm like, oh, okay, actually, no, like I was being played with, but I didn't even realize that. And you know why? Obviously, I'm concerned about the babies over there, the children, the actual kids. And now I go back to this adult who's just a young adult, and I'm like looking at her better. I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, there was something happening in my brain." But because she's an adult, and as an adult at that point, if they mess with me, I don't care too much. I kind of dismissed it. I kind of just, I didn't even dismiss it. I didn't even try to think of it as them manipulating me. I was just okay. Target individuals stay strong. They're gonna play with you from extreme to less extreme. Sometimes you're not even gonna realize you're being manipulated, unless it's extreme. I'm realizing now that, oh my gosh, this person, I think they're stimulated because she's still a college. I thought she was a little bit older than that. I thought she was maybe like a young adult in her mid-20s or something. That she but could most likely be like a young, early 20s. And it's like, oh, that's why they were playing with me. And I won't notice that unless she said like she was in a student and then this and when she been student college, then they tried to make me imagine the student to be like something else. It's so, it's like, oh, that's what they do. But mind you, they just forced you to get sexual stimulation toward a baby. And this trust, you know what they say? It's like, you're a creep. I was like, yeah, okay, and you're a protector of children, right? Like you're forcing people to have sexual stimulation toward infants. Fucking clowns. Target individuals stay strong and see this trash for what they are.